Good day, everyone. This is Yolandi from the Bible in 1 Year, and today we are reading from Numbers chapter 10. Have you ever wondered how more than 1 million Israelites moved from one place to another in the wilderness? Numbers chapter 10, verses 1 to 10, gives us the answer. It tells us about the silver trumpets the Lord instructed Moses to make and use to guide and organize the people's movements. The silver trumpets were practical tools, distinct from the ram's horn shofar. The shofar was used to signal war, but also to mark spiritual moments such as worship, covenant renewal, and divine intervention. The trumpets, on the other hand, were used to direct the orderly movement of the camp whenever Israel had to prepare to move further through the wilderness. In short, we can say the shofar was a call to attention, while the trumpets were a call to action. The first 9 chapters of Numbers focus on Israel's preparation to move through the wilderness. Here in chapter 10, we finally see the call to order as Israel begins its journey. Verses 11 to 28 marks this moment when Israel finally sets out from Mount Sinai. At God's command, the cloud lifted from above the tabernacle, signaling that it was time to depart for the wilderness of Paran. The passage carefully records the order in which the tribes marched, with each tribe taking its assigned position around the tabernacle. The tribes moved under their respective standards, while the Levites transported the tabernacle and its sacred furnishings according to the responsibilities God had previously assigned to them. This orderly procession highlights that Israel's journey was not random, but carefully directed by God, emphasizing His presence, His guidance, and the importance of obedience as the nation began its journey toward the promised land. Reading these verses confirms to us that we serve a God of order and not a God of chaos. 1 Corinthians 14, verse 33, confirms this when we read, "For God is not a God of confusion and disorder, but of peace and order." In verses 29 to 32, we meet Moses' brother-in-law, Hobab. Sadly, we also come across something that many of us can relate to, the feeling of not quite fitting in or belonging. In the previous section, we saw the order in which the Israelites were to travel, but Hobab didn't fit into any of the tribes. So he tells Moses that he's going back to the place where he knows he belongs. In verses 31 and 32, we find a valuable lesson for all of us in the way Moses responds to Hobab when we read, "Then Moses said, 'Please do not leave us, for you know how we are to camp in the wilderness, and you will serve as eyes for us. So if you will go with us, it shall be that whatever good the Lord does for us, we will do the same for you.'" We all have a deep need to belong and to know that we are needed. May we, like Moses, welcome those who are new to our churches and our communities by intentionally including them. The practical application of Numbers chapter 10 is this. As we follow God toward the promises He has for our lives, we must learn to trust His presence to lead us, rather than relying on our own comfort or understanding. We also need to remember that the seasons of preparation God gives us, like Israel's time at Sinai, are meant to equip us for the greater challenges of walking by faith. So, If you're in a season of waiting, be patient as God prepares you. And if you are in a season of movement, make sure you put into practice what you've learned during your waiting season. May you have a blessed day. Goodbye.